Well, hello everybody. We're going to just leave the camera there for now. How's everybody doing tonight? A little bit of a different scenery here, which is nice because it's not super duper cold. It's a little chilly in the basement, but it's not as cold as the garage. I don't have to have two heaters going. So today I'm going to be doing some polishing of some things. One geode that I cracked open 2 weeks ago, and then a couple thunder eggs that I've got. Let's see, Lee, welcome to the stream, my friend. The long-awaited polishing stream is finally here. April, welcome, and Justin and Griffin. Yes, my house, guys. We're in my house. It's a little bit different, I know. How you doing, Lee? Hello, April. You made it. I'm so glad. So, yes, this is my basement. This is one of our collections of books. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to turn this around really quick. So I purchased at a discounted price because of a sponsorship from the company. So they enjoyed my streams and things like that, so they're curious to see where it's going to go. So I was able to get this, otherwise it would have been like spring or summertime. So this is the 8-inch all-you-need rock and mineral model. So starting off, the first disc is a lapidary disc, so this is metal. It's the 180 grit. I'm actually going to be purchasing another one of these as well, but it's going to be a lower grit, and it's going to help out, I think, because some, like this geode here, is one we're going to polish, is one I cracked that had some calcite. So I kind of grinded it down a little bit on my tile saw, and I just kind of wanted to test. I left a little bit of a groove in there. Pardon the diaper wipes and toys in the background. So I left a little bit of a groove because I just want to kind of put it to the test a little bit. I've only used it 2 other times. This is one of the thunder eggs that I'm going to be polishing up, so you can see there's some grooves in it here, but it's pretty flat, so it should be okay. And then we've got this one here, which has got a little bit of a lip on it too, so I think it's going to do pretty well against that. And then I wanted to show, these are a couple of the things that I've collected and I've cut that I've polished up a bit. These ones still need the final stage, but this is a piece of agatized coral that I collected in Sugar Creek out near Crawfordsville. But yeah, they're called thunder eggs. There are a couple places that create or like produce them or yield them, I should say. But thunder eggs are particular to an area in Oregon, but there are other places. Otherwise, it's just chalcedony or other minerals inside a rhyolite or basalt. But this is another one. This was one I got to work on some more. I'm still learning, guys, so I said in the description if anybody's got any tips, let me know. This is a pretty one. Like I said, these ones I've gone through all the stages except for the final stage, which I'll show you guys that one here in a moment. But I really enjoy cutting the smaller ones because, like this one, you can see it's got some pretty interesting bands. And here's the other side of that one. Kelly, welcome to the stream. How are you doing? Here's a geode that I got, one of my red geodes, which normally they're pretty crumbly inside, but this one I've gone through with all the stages. I did the final stage on this one too. Came out really nice though. There's still a couple saw marks, so I might go back once I learn some more on how to do it. And then this one here is my favorite. Look at the calcite in it. And the smoky on the outside with the little eyes of chalcedony. All right. So, like I said, this is the polisher. We'll start off with this, and then we go through, there's different pads. Each one is a different grit, and then this is the final stage. So let's see here. Brown, this is 325 grit. It's a smoothing pad. And then red is 600 grit. Blue is 1200. Orange is 3000. And then this is the final. This is a felt polishing. And then this here is a 14,000 mesh polishing paste. That goes on top of it. Pardon the mess in the background. You know, we are Michael Jackson. Welcome to the stream, my friend. I'm gonna have to readjust this tripod here. Now that I've got my polisher, I'm now saving up for a better tripod because this thing it's got a little bit of duct tape. It's got a little bit of hot glue. I think that might be a little too. Oh, there we go. That's okay. So this has got a water deposit system, whatever the technical term is for it. But you can control the flow of water. With a friend of mine who does this, he recommended with the first 3 stages up until you get to 1200 grit, using the 3 or 4 setting. All the way at the max setting of 6 is 3400 RPMs. I'm not sure what the in-between is, but I always start with a 3 to 4, and that's worked pretty well. And then you just work your way up. This setup opposed to my previous setup, which was a orbital sander with some diamond polishing pads on it. It would take me like anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to get a piece done, like one piece. And if I was working on more than one, it was like a 5 to 6 hour ordeal. This one is going to take like, I'm going to set I don't really have a way to set a timer, but I'm going to kind of try and keep track and do just like 5 minutes on each stage and just move on to the next one because it really doesn't take much. It's pretty quiet. I tested it out right here. My children's playroom is like 10 feet away over there. So yeah, it's nice. I enjoy it. I'm very happy that it's quiet enough I can do it inside and not freeze my butt off. Let's see. Only jumping on quick. Yeah, man, I appreciate it. I know it's a little bit later. I wanted to make sure everything... Thank you. It is a pretty nice basement. I wanted to make sure I had everything set up in the right way. So my streams are normally late. But these ones are quiet, so I don't really need to wait for the kids to be in bed, per se. So these streams are going to be fun. Definitely been waiting for them. And then, so the water's going to go down. This is a splash guard, and then it's got a little cup down here that the wastewater will go into. It goes through the water pretty quick. So I've got this random little plastic cereal container that I've got some water in to be my resupply. But I'm going to get started on it. It's really, really simple. You don't want a whole lot of water. And that's it. We'll turn it on to 4. And I mean, I haven't streamed this before, so this is going to be the loudest pad of them all because it's the metal pad. So if it's too loud on your ears, I apologize. It's only going to be for a few minutes for the first stage. If it's really, really bad, let me know. And if anything, maybe I'll just do this first stage off camera before I start the stream. This is the trial run, so you guys let me know. But you want to have a good grip, and just like that. You don't need a whole lot of pressure or anything like that. I like to keep it in one spot or one orientation, and then I'll kind of rotate it a little bit. You don't want to keep it on the same one. Going on 3 a.m. now. Woo! It's about 9 p.m. here, so yeah, it's a little bit later there. Check it out. Okay, I think for this one we're gonna crank up the speed a little bit more, so it might be a little bit louder, and I'm gonna put a little bit more force on it. It appears it's not quite as flat as it looks to the naked eye, so that's one thing to consider with using these. It really helps to have a nice cut. A nice, smooth, and flat cut, so I'm definitely going to be in the market to getting my, oh yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm definitely going to be in the market for a nice bench grinder if I can't get my ancient one out in the garage running right. Alright, so yeah, we're doing a little bit better. It's not flat, so I've got to kind of rotate a little bit the pressure on it. I might actually just, I'm going to crank it up all the way. Not going to do it for very long. Just see if that extra oomph gives it anything extra. Alright, that's good. So yeah, it's a learning process for me, guys. I mean, I've used it a couple times. So if this is a stream everybody enjoys, I'll keep doing them this way. I mean, if I have to just record this way and edit it and just make polishing videos, which I intend to do anyways, I can do that. But I like doing things live because then I can answer questions as you have them watching me. You know, it's different watching a video of me doing something and then commenting and waiting for me to see it, you know, to answer the question. And it's a great way for me to learn too, because I can have somebody actively watching me do it, and if I'm doing something wrong, I can be like, hey, no, whoa, don't do that. But it's doing alright so far. Maybe a little bit hard to see, but majority of those grooves are out. We're going to do a little bit more at this higher speed, then I'm going to slow it down and give it a little bit more. Awesome. I'm glad. I've never seen anybody else do live polishing, so. Oh, also, I lost my wedding ring a few months ago, and my new one finally came in. It's got blue opal in it. Took me a while for it to come in, but they finally had them in stock. Alright. I'm going to do a little bit more of this side. Oh, almost lost it. Alright. So I think that's alright for the higher speed. I'm going to slow it back down now. And that's another reason why I want to get a lower grit of the actual lapidary disc, because it's just going to make this part of it so much easier. I won't have to use as much force. It won't wear this disc down quite as fast because it's not going to have to work as hard. So that's my next goal. Oh yeah, that looks good. A little bit more there. Oh yeah, so I recommend if you have to use the higher speed to get out a pesky saw mark, definitely keep it on that grit, slow it down, and then work that again because it definitely helps. This one's got a lot of chalcedony right here, which is pretty clear, so I might end up with some small scratches at the end, and that's just because of this stage and lacking the extra step beforehand to make it a little bit easier. Alright, now this one here, I showed before, this one's got a little bit of an edge left on it from where it was cut. So I'm going to crank this back up to 6 all the way. And kind of set that down first. And it's gone. So not too bad. Not too bad. Adjust the water here a little bit. You always want to try and keep the flow centered right around this metal ring you'll see right in the middle of the pad. And that makes sure, it just ensures you get every part of the grit nice and saturated. And I'm curious, one question that I have regarding the last stage, so if anybody out there polishes and they know, my question is, I know it's a felt pad, and some reading I did recommended using a little bit of water just to keep that pad from overheating. Is that something I should do or should not do? Because the first time I tried, I didn't put any water on it, and it seemed to do fine. The rock was a little bit warm, the pad was pretty warm. The next time I ran with a little bit of water, it was still warm, but not as much. So, is that something that's necessary or no? And to everybody just tuning in, like I said before, this is the first stage. Use water? Okay. This is the first stage. It's the actual lapidary disc, so it's a metal disc, so it is a little bit louder. The rest of them will not be nearly as loud as this one. I'm really excited to get to this Geode. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. But my concern was I didn't know if the water was going to affect anything with like the felt pad, if it was made for that or not. That's my concern. Because it took me a while to save up for the machine itself. Now replacement pads still aren't that cheap. So I want to try and ensure, just hang it up and it'll dry. Sweet. I just want to prolong the life of them as long as I can. Alright, and this one you can see is pretty much all the saw marks are gone. I got a little bit left up here. This one's going to be pretty. I'm excited. I enjoy doing this on the stream because when I would do it on my own, I think I was too eager and too excited. So I would just try and fly through it just to get to the end result. And I mean, I had some that turned out really nice because they were nice cuts. Or they're ideal material for the polishing. But some of them I can definitely take my time on and go back over and clean them up. That's why all those ones I haven't done the last stage yet, because I only have a little bit of this stuff and I don't want to burn through it all on a not good polish. I want to make sure it's what it should be before I take that final step. Because with this I can easily go back to square one, you throw it on here, and then yeah, Agadad was lucky enough. I talked to them beforehand about a sponsorship and I was offered one. He got his for free. Retail of these is $569.99. And then in addition to that, I got this extra pad just for what I need, what I'm planning to use them with geodes and harder things like that. They recommend using the extra 3,000 step in between the 1,200 to the 14,000 jump. So the pad itself was $25, and then you need to get the acrylic backing, which was like, I think around $30. So it is a little bit pricey, but I will say it is quality equipment that's going to last you. And it's definitely worth it. Alright, so now, like I said before, I'm going to drop it back down to 4 on the same grit, because using that higher grit, now I don't have to talk as loud. Using that higher speed on this grit relieves some marks. You can see now that it's dry. But going over it on the same grit at a lower speed is going to help get rid of those. It's the extra little steps like this that are going to... Oh yeah, dude, I'm so excited, man. I'm so excited. And I'm heading to the post office tomorrow, so you've got some things coming your way as well. now I'm going to give this one just a minute or so. I am eager to see the end result soon. Is there a smell to it? No, in all honesty, like, it smells like rocks. Like, it doesn't let off a whole bunch of dust or anything like that. That's what the water is there for. So it really helps. If anything, I'll use a little bit more water than I should, and I'll keep filling that thing up to make sure all that just, oh, yeah, that's in that box, too. Oh, I know what that is. Oh, man. I'm going to have to run out to the garage, guys. There's going to be like 45 seconds of dead air after I finish this one, because Terry sent me an awesome slice of a Puddingstone that I'm gonna polish too, because that was beautifully cut and it'll be perfect for this. All right. I'm sorry, guys. I didn't plan this, but it's worth it. I'll be back. Sorry, the joys of live entertainment. There we go. Oh, just wait till it's done. Oh man, I should have turned my water off. It's gonna be a mess. Okay, not too bad. Looks okay. Looks okay. Alright, we're gonna do this one really quick. Sorry about that, guys, but it'll be worth it. I'm just going to do one side of it for now. Oh, awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that so much. Because I didn't see that on High Tech's website. And I've also got, I've got a couple other things that I want to polish too, but they're a little bit smaller, so I want to get the dowels and the wax so I can really hold them, because I don't want to like have it fly away, you know, my daughter be standing watching me and her get like whacked in the head. That would not be a fun call to mom, you know, or go and wake mom up. If Dad hit me with the rock, I wouldn't be allowed to stream anymore. First layer. Like that. Here we are. We're ready to move on to the next one. And now this one we're going to polish up, guys. It's going to make a little bit of a noise because it's the Geode, but this is my first time trying to polish something. Like I said, I ground down a little bit just because it was a little bit of an awkward shape. It would have been too much for this grit. So yeah, this is the Geode I'm going to try and polish up. It's fairly flat, so bear with me on this one. This is my first time trying to polish one that I cracked it. So if this works really well, I'm so excited, because that means I got a lots. Alright, we're gonna let it do its thing for a little bit. I'm gonna crank up the water here. Oh man, oh man. It works. Oh, just wait, guys. Yeah, I gotta turn the water up. I also want to be really careful with this one because it's got that, oh, wait, nope, oh. It's got that secondary in there of that calcite. I don't want to show you guys this one yet until I'm done with this first stage. I almost goofed. Mr. Chabot in the house. How you doing, sir? The long-awaited polishing content. So those just joining in, my apologies if this first stage is going to be a little bit loud. This is the actual lapidary disc. Not that this isn't a lapidary. These are called lapidary disc. It's metal opposed to the pads like these ones. So this first stage is always going to be a little bit louder. So again, my apologies, but it's worth it. I'm so blown away by this one. Oh, time to refill some water. And that's why I got a big jug over there, because it's a pain in the butt to have to stop and run to the sink. And I'm doing good, man, doing good. I was a little annoyed that Voyager, their app was down. And it has been down since this morning because things have been so crazy today, as I'm sure you've seen. Might not be the same things that are on your radar, but I'm hoping that it gets back online tonight, or at least by tomorrow morning. Because Robinhood wasn't working for me, so Voyager worked, but then like I said, this morning, it got shut down again. Or not shut down, it says they're down for maintenance. Alright, just about done with this one, guys. Alright, now I'm going to slow it down just to work out some of these deeper marks that I put in there with it being faster. And then we're ready to go on to stage number 2. I don't don't see, Kimberly, what you were saying me either to you. I didn't see the comments above. What I was saying about Voyager or something somebody said. Alright, and then I recommend once you're done, I turn the water off, get this out of the way, and then I crank it up to full speed and let it run out some of that. Oh yeah, Robin Hood. Robin Hood wasn't working at all last night, so I wasn't too worried about that. But look at, let me get a little bit closer. Look at this one, guys. It's a little hard to see because of the front camera. But look how... Oh, I can't wait to turn it around once it's a really nice one. I really enjoy it. I'm enjoying it so far. This is the third time I've used it. But it's kicking butt. This was a rough geode that I had cracked, and look at that. I only ground down a little part over here, and you can't even tell where I'd cut it on my saw. Alright, guys. So, that's run for a little bit. Turn it off. Let it stop running before you put your fingers on it, obviously. And in all honesty, I don't even really need to wear these because I've never even got water splashed on them, but just as a precaution. Yes, sir, it is. That is some calcite right there. It's a little bit dirty from the dust and whatnot, but I'm gonna rinse it off after I'm done. And yeah, that's a little chunk of calcite sitting right there. Yes, calcite on the quartz drews. That is right, my friend. All right, and then this is super easy. Just unscrews like that. There you go. And then here we are on to the first pad, and you guys are gonna see what a difference it is in the sounds. Like I said, that's the only one that's really loud. Get that water going again. And now one thing with these stages, once you get to these pads, it's really important to make sure you don't have any little bits. I got it for a discounted for the sponsorship that I got from the company High Tech. But retail for it is $569.99 on their website. And then in addition, for the stuff that I'm cutting and polishing, I purchased this, the 3000 grit pad, and you need to get an acrylic backer for it too. This one doesn't come with the set, and that one altogether was about $50 to get that. But it's top-notch equipment. It's going to last a long time if you use it the right way, so that's what I was getting at. You want to make sure there's nothing, no little pieces, nothing like that, no grains of anything left on here, because when it's on here, you'll hear a crunch, and it's just going to leave a nice deep cut in there, because it'll get stuck in this polishing, in the surface of the polishing pad, and it'll just rip a little chunk into what you just polished, and then you got to go back and work that out. And odds are it's going to be deeper than the rest of it all, so you're sitting there working the whole thing, trying to get one little scratch out. So definitely comes in handy to pay attention. I've learned the hard way. Just take it from me. Yeah, that's it. You can barely... It's so quiet. I was doing this the other night, and I sat here, and I had my phone going, and just watching Netflix. I had a snack. It was nice. But not bad. Not bad at all. Right? You can hardly hear it. Can barely hear it. I really enjoy this. It took me a while to save up for because, like I've said before, yes, I consider that, but my main way of streaming music is my phone, and it won't let me play music while I'm recording, so I'll have to bring my speaker in and get the iPad set up. But yeah, look at this one so far, guys. It's wet, so, but this is a glimpse at what it's going to look like at the end, if everything goes well. So I'm still working at it. Hardly hear it. You're going to have years of use out of that toy. Oh yeah, I'm so excited for the things I'm going to be able to do with this thing, especially once I get the dowels and the wax and I can start making cabs. I'm so excited. Plus my YouTube is starting to take off. And with that, guys, I want to introduce, like I've talked about, a live stream on my YouTube, but I just found out I'm not allowed to start live streaming until I get 1,000 subscribers. I can't do it from my mobile phone. I have to be on a laptop, and my Mac is like 12 years old and it is not ready to, or capable to do any of that. So the goal is to get my YouTube up to 1,000 subs so then I can start doing some more streaming over there, because I can do some different things than what I can do here. I've made cabs before. Oh yeah, I'm so excited. My buddy Michael, he makes some beautiful cabs with the Kentucky agate. He's in this group, guys. I'm sure you've seen. If you guys want to look him up, Michael Tribuzio. And he collects down in Kentucky, and he just has some really beautiful things. All right, and look at that. I'm done with the second stage for that thunder egg there, and ready to move on to the next. Just like that. It took not even 3 minutes. That noise you heard there, that crunching, is what you want to look out for. You want to make sure there's nothing. Yeah, this one here has got a little bit of a crevice, so there's a little rock sticking out. There's fuzzies. That is the one nice thing about these being so... Tribuzio. He's finding some really beautiful stuff. Really beautiful stuff. And that's the gentleman that helped me out, and he sent me buy cheap slabs of soft material to practice on when learning to cab. Thank you. A cab is a cabochon. Oh, I don't have one down here. Have you ever seen like a palm stone or things like that? It's just a nice shape. Hey, there's Michael. It's just a really nice shape. Michael will tell you about it. Explain what a cab is. He knows better than I do. He's teaching me, so. Oh man, this one's really coming out nice too. And we're only 2 stages in. We still have 3 more smoothing stages, and then the final stage with the 14,000 mesh. So excited. Jeez Louise, and the colors in this are just nuts. And with this too, you don't want to apply too much pressure. You know, if you have a problem spot, you need to give a little bit more oomph, that's okay. You don't want to slam down on it to where you're leaving grooves in that pad, because then that's not gonna, it's not gonna do you any good. So honestly, if I have a spot that I notice that's giving me trouble, like if it's on the outside, I'll try and get as close to the center of it as I can, so that way if it does mess it up, it's not smack dab in the middle of my main face that I'm going to use to polish. You know, it's closer to the middle, so I can work around it, God forbid. It hasn't happened, but it's just something I've thought of and keep in mind. And yeah, we're ready to move on. Look at this one now. It's really pretty. Really, really pretty. Alright, now we're going to do this Puddingstone from Terry. Yeah, I know. I've got one. I've got the trim saw from High Tech I'm eyeballing is $350. So I think for that I'm okay with waiting. I've got plenty of stuff to polish, and I'm okay with waiting to see where my YouTube channel goes, because for them to get sponsored for a piece of equipment, they're looking for 5,000 subscribers. So I'm okay with taking my time, a year or so, however long, you know. My friend Agatad, he thinks that the channel is going to do well, and he's supporting me, so I'm excited for it. But I might wait for that to eventually get to 5,000 subs, whenever that is, and then take them up and see if I can't get another piece of equipment, and then I'll go after that slab saw. Unless I get rich before then, you know. What I would really like to get is I'd really like to get a slab saw. Like Kate over on Katie Did, she's got a really awesome slab saw that she uses. But those things are thousands of dollars. So maybe one day when my YouTube is big, if it ever gets that big, I can start hitting up some companies like, hey. Wow, Terry, are you still watching, my friend? Are you watching? If you are, say something. Because this thing is crazy, man. And I've got some Puddingstones and some Petoskey stones from Justin Erland that I'm getting ready to start polishing up. I think I've got one bigger one from him that I'll be able to handle. I'm not sure. Guys, look at this. So this is what we started off with. This is why I like doing just the one side. So this is what we started off with. And this is just the first 2 stages. Obviously this is wet, but this is, in theory, what the end result is going to look like. That shine, that finish. So this is why I ran outside. So that one's ready. And on to the next one. See, that first stage with the diamond, with the lapidary disc, is what takes the longest. And then after that, if you're doing it the right way, it's smooth sailing. So here we are onto this quartz geode with calcite. But actually first, I'm going to go and dump this. Da, 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 da. And don't worry, guys, if anybody's concerned, this is nothing like dumping the stuff left over from tumbling. It's not like dumping that stuff down the sink. It's not gonna turn into cement. This just picks up the bits of dust that would come out, so it's nothing terrible. Don't freak out. All right. Here we are, on to this guy. I'm so excited for this one and how it's going to turn out. One thing though about doing it with geodes that have crystals is, yeah, it was getting close. No, I was paying attention to it. With this one, you just want to be careful with any loose crystals falling off. That's why it's nice to start off with a lower speed, so it's not going too crazy, not putting too much stress on the piece you're working. But as soon as you hear that, pull up. You don't want to do any damage. But super quiet. Yeah, I'm not forcing it. This one's just got a little bit of curve, so I'm not putting too much force. I'm just moving it enough that it's gonna polish evenly. This one isn't gonna be a perfectly smooth one. And this one spot over here has got a lot of loose crystals, so I keep popping up, and that's what that crunch is. Trying to not goof it up. But yeah, I definitely made that mistake at first too. That I think I was putting too much force. This one almost looks like it's got blue chalcedony bands in it. Okay, cool. Cool. I want to make sure I'm not messing anything up. I'll have to check it out with the loop, but yeah, that definitely is blue chalcedony. I can't tell if there's any banding in it. Yeah, already this one I'm about ready to move on to the next stage with too. I'm gonna turn my water up a little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna give this one like another minute. Just kind of go around with it. And like they're saying, let the machine do the work. Sometimes you've gotta move a little bit with it to conform to how the geode is or whatever your polishing is. You won't always, like I said, you won't always get that perfect cut depending on the equipment and who you are. I don't foresee myself doing perfect cuts until I get a slab saw. Some of the little ones I can do pretty good cuts. I wouldn't call perfect, but all right, there we have it, guys. Well, look at this is right here. That's the blue I'm talking about, and there's a little bit more over here too. So I'm really excited to see this one at the end. So, like I said before, turn the water off, rotate that, turn it all the way up, and just let it spin for a little bit. It's a good time to refill your water. And as I'm learning this, guys, I'll get faster with the streams and things like that. So my goal is to make these last like 45 minutes to an hour. All right, that should be good. And I haven't. Oh yeah, definitely. I don't have any I'm going to have to take some pictures of them. I don't have any of my batteries for my UV that are charged. And I actually think that my charger for them is sitting in my wife's car from the last time I went out collecting. But here we are, moving on to the next pad, which I'm still learning them. Bum, 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 bum. Red is, this is 600 grit. Smoothing disc. Diamond smoothing disc. Then after that, the blue one is going to be the 1200. Brown is 3000. And then when we get to this last one, Evan Burgos in the house, my man. This is the piece of equipment I've been saving up for, that I got sponsored for, man. Showing everybody how it works. Polishing up a couple things, and it's working really well, man. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I've known Evan Burgos, that man there that just popped in. I've known that dude since I was like this big. All right, we'll start off with this one here. And like I said, so quiet. You can barely hear it. The first stages, whatever lapidary discs you're using, those are the ones that are putting in the most work to get it ground down to that nice smooth surface that you're after. But yeah, like I said, from here on out, once you get to the higher stages, it really doesn't take too much longer. One bit of advice that I like to use, is if you think it's done, just go a little bit longer. Just a little bit longer. So. I'm content with that. It's not going to look too different at this point until we get to the end result and we see it dried off. And the goal is to have that same finish. Oh, that's awesome. So you should send me those plans. I'm curious. I'm a handy guy too. I like building and things and doing things like that. So I feel like that'd be something very interesting too for my YouTube content, to go out hunting and collecting and using it. They're like, oh hey, by the way, I made this. I think that's pretty cool. This stream doesn't seem to have the same pull as me cracking open the geodes. I guess it's not quite as exciting until the end. But I feel like these are going to be good ones for me to go through and edit and cut down, and I can make some highlight videos and things like that. All right, this one looks pretty good, so I'm going to give it about another minute and then move on. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that, man. Woo-wee! Oh, yeah, true. Friday night, duh. Makes a lot of sense. But this one is going to be the first one I'm going to try. I'm just going to download this whole stream right afterwards, and I'm going to throw it right up on YouTube tonight and see how it goes. Wow. This one is really, really pretty. Moving on to the Puddingstone. Not that side, this side. And like I said before, the nicer cuts, the easier they're going to be. Jeanette Brown Baker in the house. How you doing? Just working on some things. Got two Thunder Eggs we're polishing up tonight. And then the Geode. And then I ran out to the garage because Terry reminded me that he sent me something really cool that would be really awesome to see all polished up. Which is this slab of really gorgeous, gorgeous Puddingstone. I love it. Just a night and day difference. This one's pretty good. I'm going to give it another, like 30 seconds. Shout out to the 14 that have been here through the whole time. And to everybody else who just joined. Ooh, 15! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Not quite as exciting as my normal content, guys, but gold rush to you at the same time. But it's going to be some really exciting end results. Check out that Puddingstone, guys. This is what we started off with. And this is what we're looking at. So beautiful. And moving on to that Geode with a nice chunk of calcite in it. Oh, snack to double zeros, bro. Yes, sir. Dude, I'm putting my gauges back in. Whether you guys like it or not. I'm going back to gauges. You've inspired me, bro. I gotta bring them back. Guess who's back? Back. Good, 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 good. Gauges back. I don't know if I'll get back up to as big as they were before, but I was a half inch before. But I'll get them back in there, and I'll at least get back up to double zeros. Awesome, man. I'm so glad that you're here. I want to get into wire wrapping too, especially now that I've got the means to do some nice polishing. I'm excited for it. Except I've never done that before, so when I get to that point, I'll be asking. Shout out to Donnie, who's been here the whole time. I appreciate it, my friend. Been here the whole time. I got a few I wish I could cut and polish. I've handed them off. Yeah, I'm so happy to have this because there's definitely a couple that have been sitting out there. I've been waiting, just waiting patiently. Well, that's the one great thing about this hobby is you can always go out and find more. You know, not everything. Some of the things we buy, you know, are a little bit harder to go out and just buy more, find more. But you know, for me at least, for like finding these geodes, you know, it's not difficult for me to go and do. All right, there we have it, guys. Check that one out. This is the one with the little chunk of calcite in it. I love it. Look at the blues are just coming out more and more. That blue calcite in there. Yeah, dude, I get it. I understand. It's a little bit of a steep jump, but it's worth it. All right, guys, here we go. We're on to the next stage. Gonna run this one out. Let it dry off a little bit. All right, now I've been running it on the 4 setting for most of these, except for the first one where I would jump it all the way up to 6. But now that I'm getting to the blue pad, which is 1200 grit, I'm going to be running all of them at the high speed, the 6000. Ooh, I'm excited to see what I can do with them, my friend. Very excited. Alrighty, guys. After this one, we've got just the 3000 grit, and then the final step, the felt pad with the 14,000 mesh diamond paste. Jasmine, welcome to the show. It's a little late, and it's not quite as exciting as my normal show, but we're here. We're having fun. And again, listen to how quiet this is, guys. So quiet. I love it. So if anybody would ask me, I would definitely recommend this brand, High Tech Diamond. Like I said, this is the 8-inch all-you-need rock and mineral model that, for me, I'm close enough to where the company is based out of in Chicago that I just drove over to the warehouse and I picked it up, and I got to meet them and some of the folks that work there, which are really cool, really support the streams and the things that I do and the plans that I have. And it's awesome. It's been fun so far. Like I said, this is just the 3rd time I've used it, but you guys are going to see it a lot. That is for sure. Alright, thunder egg number 1. On to thunder egg number 2. I'll have to scroll up on the comments here in a minute. Sorry, I missed what you said. Now that I do this inside, I'm hoping I can get... And that's why I don't have my 6-year-old stand over there. Because I just got flung. And that is also why I haven't really been paying too much attention to the comments. Because I don't want that to happen. A fingerprint is about 2600 grit. I did not know that. Interesting. Yeah. Part of my goof. Oh man, we're down to 11, guys. That's okay. Alright, I'm content with that one. Got this Puddingstone next. Alright. And I may have to pause here in a second after I finish this Puddingstone because of my wife is texting me and I need to make sure she's alright. She's working. on to the last one, the Geode here with a little beautiful chunk of calcite on it. Does not take a whole lot, guys. It does not. JT, welcome to the stream, my friend. A little bit different than my normal content here, but we're having some fun testing out this new polisher I got. 8-inch all you need rock and mineral model from High Tech Diamond. They sponsored me, offered me a discount on it, and I just recently picked it up about a week ago, a little over a week ago. And I'm really enjoying it. Really, really enjoying it so far. I'm content with these already, and I'm gonna kill this water here. Let that run a little bit, dry out some, and just apologies. All right, so next step, guys, is the 3000 grit pad, and then after that, we're on to the felt finishing pad with a 14,000 mesh diamond paste. So we're almost done, guys. Almost done. These last couple steps I'm going to go through a little bit quicker. It's taken me a little bit longer than I anticipated, but these are looking really good. That water going. And again, like I said, for the last 3 stages, from 1200 to 3000, and then the final finishing stage, I crank it all the way up to 6, which is about 3400 RPM. I'm going to give each one about a minute on this stage. A minute to 2 minutes. Justin, welcome back, my friend. Welcome, welcome. We are on the second to last stage. This is the 3000 grit stage. Like I said, I did purchase this disc, this grit, in addition to the set. This one does not come with the set, but it is recommended for the things that I cut and I polish. Alright, so for these ones, since it's the second to last stage, I'm going to do about a minute on each one. Set it down, let it dry, move on to the next one, and then I'm going to double check it, and I'll probably throw it back up for another minute. Sandy, welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight? Switching it up a little bit. I got my polishing set up from High Tech Diamond. Finally, had enough saved up for it, and just checking it out. This is the first stream, testing things out. We are on the second to last stage. This is a 3000 grit smoothing pad. The last step after this is going to be this felt finishing pad that you're going to utilize a 14,000 mesh diamond paste or diamond polishing compound, whatever you'd like to call it, however you'd like to say it. So we started off with our lapidary disc, which was the very first, which is a metal disc. That is 180 grit. I plan to get another disc in addition to that one, probably an 80 or 90 grit, something around there. Then from then on, we moved to 200 grit with the brown polishing pad. The red polishing pad is 600. 1200 is what we were just on with the blue. Orange is 3000, and then that white is the felt with the finishing polishing compound. Retail for this device that I'm using here is $569.99. I was sponsored by the company. They enjoy my streams and they like what I'm doing, and they're curious to see where it goes. So I got it at a discounted rate, which is why I was able to get it after saving up for a few months. But it is definitely worth the investment. It is going to be a piece of equipment I'm going to get much use out of for many years. Once my daughter gets a little bit bigger, she loves watching me do it. She enjoys the finished products as well, and she's eager to learn. And I told her once she's a little bit older, I'm going to teach her. So if you're after a polishing setup, I definitely would recommend this one for something that's going to last you a long time and for you to get some good use out of. I also intend to use the same setup for doing some cabs and things like that, which is possible. I just need a little bit more equipment, or sorry, I should say a little bit more materials for that. I need to get the rods, the dowel rods, and the wax that you use. And one thing to look out for, you want to make sure you're keeping lots of water in there. Alright, and then when we finish up with this stage here, I think it's going to be time to dump our reservoir down here. But it's exciting. I'm liking the results so far. I'm really happy with how this Geode is turning out, especially since this is one that I cracked and I just worked a little bit on the saw, just trimmed it a little bit on my wet tile saw before starting the stream. But it looks so awesome. And like I said, and once I get that additional lower grit of the diamond pad, it's going to be really sweet. And I'm excited for the things I've got coming to me. Some awesome folks are sending me some really cool things. But check out the Puddingstone. Look at the yellows coming out and the jasper in that. So beautiful. I will say, I think next time I'm going to do this setup maybe with a chair. I'm going to have to pause for a moment to stretch and crack my back. Oh, Mary and Joe and Rosella, how are you guys doing tonight? Thanks for joining in. If you've seen my streams before, this is a little bit different, but we are working with some of the things from my previous streams. This is one of the geodes I'm polishing up tonight. Is one I cracked 2 weeks ago. Check that thing out so far. Wendy, welcome to the stream. How you doing? We are checking out the high-tech diamond 8-inch all-you-need rock and mineral polisher that I recently acquired from the company. They enjoy my streams, and they're eager to see what's going to happen. And I'm eager to see what's going to happen too. If you're new here, this isn't the only kind of streaming that I do. This is the first time I've streamed doing the polishing content. But every week, earlier in the week, Mondays and Tuesdays, Monday or Tuesday, I should say. It's not always both days. Mondays and Tuesdays, I stream cracking open geodes. So that's what this is. This is half of a geode here that I had cracked on one of last week's shows. And I've got so many things in store for polishing, and then I've got a bucket sitting down there full of ones that I cut last year that I've been waiting to polish. So some exciting things for sure. And you know what? I don't even... A minute on each was okay. We're already ready to move on to the next stage. I'm going to kill this water here. Turn it around, let that spin out a little bit and dry, and we are ready to go on to the final stage, guys. The finishing stage using the felt finishing pad with the diamond paste. While that spins out, I'm going to get this set up. So you don't use a whole lot. I've still got a little bit left over from last time. So you just dabble a little bit in a cross formation. You want 3 or 4 little dots of it. And then you're going to work it in with your finger afterwards. And that's the compound we use to finish it up. And give it that nice mirror finish. That's the goal. Alright, that's ready. Use about a rice-sized drop. Sorry, guys, let me get this off the screen. Yes, it is a little bit late. I am sorry. But this thing is so quiet that my kids can sleep upstairs and I can be down here doing this and sharing with everybody. This is only my 3rd time using this polisher here. So I'm really, really having fun with it. I really enjoy it. All right. And what I was doing there was just rubbing in that 14,000 mesh diamond paste. And then there we have it, guys. So I'm not going to have as much water running on this. I'm going to have a nice small steady stream just to keep the whole thing saturated, to keep it from overheating. And this should be the final step, guys, and we will be wrapping up here soon. All right, here we go. This is how it looks right now, guys. And then we're gonna finish her up. So I'm gonna go about 2 minutes. 2 minutes on each one, and then set her down, let it dry, and if I have to, we'll go back to it. But other than that, I think this is it, guys. This is the final stage. And this is the stage you really don't want to put. You don't need to put a whole lot of pressure on it either. Let it do the work. Looking good, looking good. I might... I think I had too much water. Slow it down a little bit. Sorry, guys. I want to make sure I'm doing things right. But I feel like that was too much water. And again, guys, this is the first time I'm streaming this, so this is learning for me. as far as I'm going to run with the show and do things and things like that. So this is definitely longer than I anticipate. Once I've done it a couple times, I'm going to kind of go through it a little bit quicker. I'm not going to elaborate too much on what each grit is and things like that. I was just going to kind of try and be some quicker content, more enjoyable content. Not that this isn't enjoyable, but it's much easier to sit down and watch a 30 to 40 minute video opposed to an hour and 30, you know. Alright, that one is ready. One down, 3 to go. Oh, I'm so excited for these final end results. Kara, welcome to the show. Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely a learning experience. So like I said, I'm going to utilize what I learned from this one and keep that in consideration for future streams. Now I'm curious if anybody out there is watching that's done this before. Am I good with that amount of polishing paste I put on there, or am I going to have to replenish it after doing a couple pieces? If you guys have any insight, please let me know, because that's one thing I've wondered about. Although I don't think I do, because this one looks pretty good. It's got some minute scratches in it. That's why I want to get that first stage, because this final polish really brings out some of the things you don't see, because it's a really big jump from 3,000 to 14,000 is quite a difference. So this is still a learning curve. This one isn't quite as perfect. Like I said, it's still got that beautiful mirror finish, but there's some really small lines you can see. You can only really see depending on the lighting you're looking at it in. But here we are, guys, and then we have the before on this one. This is with a 3000, so this is already a really nice polish. It's not bad at all. Well, I'm hoping that I can teach everybody how through my content I create. Terry, you still out there, my friend? Did you got any insight from me as far as my question regarding replenishing the paste that's on this thing while I'm using it? I don't think so, but I'm just curious. I don't think I'll have to for these ones, but I'm sure there's going to be a point it gets to where it's run out. You know, there's nothing left there. I don't know how volatile this compound is and how long it'll last. Yeah. It is looking good. So I think after this one, I'm going to turn it off and I'm going to add a little bit more of the compound for this Geode, because I really want to make sure that one gets a really nice finish. just gonna, not per rock, but per session, but that's me. Okay. Just as a precaution, I'm gonna add a little bit more. Oh, maybe if I took the little cap off. I'm not gonna do all 4 lines. I'm just gonna do two sides. We'll see. All right. If it's unnecessary, oh well, can't hurt anything. But I want to make sure that end result is what we're after. Oh. We almost overflowed here. Well, I'm not going to have to use any more water, so I'm just going to dump it right back in there. To save myself a trip. Because that's still pretty full. And we're on the last one. Alright. On with the show. Wipe my rocks down with a little... Gotcha. I've got a blanket here. Let that run for a second. Oh yeah, no, you can very, very hard to hear it if you're not standing next to it. Oh, yeah. Pretty, pretty, pretty. And here we are, guys. Last piece, last stage, last grid. Yeah, Kara, I don't think you caught the beginning of the show, but really the only loud stage is the beginning, the first actual lapidary disc, because this is the metal one. So this is the one that's doing the most work, grinding it down to get that nice flat surface. Otherwise, the other ones are just like this. I love it. Oh, it looks so good. Almost done, guys. Like a minute left. I'm gonna give it like one more minute. And we are done, guys. That's simple. Let me just get this one wiped down. And I'll grab that camera and turn you guys around so you can see. Oh, I love it. It came out so good. Get these things off. Grab this. Actually, let me, yeah, like my ceiling. It's so random. It's metal. It's so loud. I can hear the kids running upstairs. I can hear them drop a pencil on the ground. But here we go, guys. I'm going to think. Yeah, that's my makeshift stand over there. And then it was sitting on. All right, hold on. Let me just try to set this down so I can show in front. So like I said, you can still see some little scratches, but nope, that don't. You can. But yeah, from what it started off as, and it's so smooth. Jim, welcome. You're catching the end result, my friend. We were just finishing up. So yeah, like I said, some little tiny scratches, but I think if I get that additional, that first stage, that's really going to help. So yeah, there's that first one. Here's the next one. Just wet it a little bit. So I'm still learning. I've got to get a little bit better at it, but this is the actual finish we're looking for. This one's a little bit wet. So still has a nice shine to it, but like I said, still learning this. Thunder eggs are a little bit more tricky to polish from what I've read and been told. But I love the depth that you can see in it. All right, then this is the one. Oh, yeah, man. It's all good. So this is what we started off with. And this is what we ended with. So beautiful. Definitely glad I ran out to the garage to grab it, even though it had added some empty air. Oh. Come on. Don't be a butt. There we go. And this is my favorite one. Oh, this one came out so good. This is a geode I cracked 2 weeks ago. I love the beautiful chunk of calcite in there over the quartz. And then check this out. I gotta just this darn dumb tripod. But look at the blue in it. The blue chalcedony. Might be a little bit hard to see because of the lighting. But I'll take some really good pictures of them and definitely share it up in the group. You can see some of it up here too. But yeah, this is one that I cracked open on the show, and I only cut a little bit of it down here to even it out some. Oh yeah, that would be a really beautiful countertop, that's for sure. Absolutely. But I love it. They came out so great. And here, just for those that weren't here in the beginning, I'll set down a couple of the other ones that I've polished up so far. This is another thunder egg that I polished up. Again, you can see a little bit of the scratches, but compared to what it started off as is a night and day difference. Here's a little geode. Trying to get some light on it. I love cutting and polishing the little ones. Yeah, quartz is a pain in the butt. Ooh, thank you for the love, Donnie. I really like this one. This one is so smooth. This is one of my favorites. Got both halves of this. And this one's my favorite so far. I love the smoky in the outside. I love the calcite in the middle. Let me find the light again. Come on, pain in the butt. There it is. You can see the sheen on the calcite, especially right there. I love the little circles of chalcedony in there too. Which milky stuff? This stuff in here is calcite. This banding and the white stuff is calcite. And this one, at least, no, this dark white is chalcedony. The banding in here is calcite, so that one will glow. Like I said, I'm gonna snap some pictures. Calcite can glow blue. It can glow a couple different colors. I normally don't get blue calcite. The blue that you'll see in mine that I find is hyalite, is water opal, and this one is one of my favorites too. This was the first one I polished when I got it because this was my favorite. It was one of my red geodes that are normally, they're red because of heat, so they're normally really crunchy and crumbly inside, but not this one. This one was really, really pretty. This one took a really nice polish. That's my favorite one that I've done on the new polisher. And this is my favorite that I've cut so far. This one I collected in Sugar Creek. And it's agatized coral. So you can see some of it there. But it's like a thunder egg. That's what I thought it was. This is one of the first things that I collected and cut. Yeah, this one definitely looks like a sunset. I love it. This was one of the first ones that I'd ever cut, and when I was relatively newer at collecting in that area, and I didn't realize what it was until looking at it after I cut it, and I was like, what are these shapes in here? And I was like, I thought it was a thunder egg. So I was doing all this research into, are there thunder eggs in Indiana? And nope, it's just agatized. Okay, man, for sure. But that is all I've got for you guys. It was a lot of fun. It took a little bit longer, so I'm going to work on making it run a little bit smoother and quicker. But I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll comment and let you guys know. I'll post a link to a post on my page because I don't want to post sales-related stuff or advertisements. But I'm going to post on my own personal page and the model that I got, and give a shout out to High Tech and things like that. And once I get it going on my YouTube, like I said, I can't live stream like this from my phone on my YouTube until I reach 1,000 subscribers over there. I have to be on a desktop, and my computer is like 12 years old, and it's not going to handle that. So once my YouTube grows a little bit more, thank you, Kara, and thank you, Donnie. I appreciate that, guys. I will be back Monday or Tuesday with a normal cracking stream. And then next week, Thursday or Friday, I'll have another one of these streams going up polishing. I'll probably do Thursday since Friday nights people are busy and the show wasn't popping as quite as much as I was anticipating. But that's all right. That's not what I'm after. I just enjoy sharing. So with that said, I know it was a polishing video, but keep on cracking, guys. I will see everybody in the comments after the video, and I will see everybody next week live. Have a great night, everyone.